Today, let's streamline your design actions and effects with the Actions and Graphic Elements window. Hi everyone, my name is Tjokro, and we have come to my final episode here on Adobe Live On Demand. We have covered so many of the amazing tools in Illustrator that I use in my design process. Now that you know how to use them like a pro, let's take a look at how you can save these actions to use at any time. Firstly, navigate to the Window drop-down menu and select Actions. You'll see several pre-built actions here. If you'd like to use an existing keyboard shortcut, simply double-click an action and assign it to a function key. Let's start by creating a basic alignment action. To begin, I'll randomly place a few squares on my artboard. Next, I'll open up the Actions panel and select Create New Set. I'll name this set Alignment Shortcuts. Now, we're ready to record our first action. Select New Action and give it a name. In this example, I'll call it Center Horizontal Distribution. Assign it a function key. Keep in mind that if the function key you choose is already in use, the system will automatically add a Shift or Command modifier. Click Record. From this point on, every movement and change will be recorded as part of the action, so be intentional. With the squares selected, I'll navigate to the Align panel, which can also be found under the Window drop-down menu, and apply the vertical align center and the horizontal distribute space. Since this completes the action, select Stop Recording in the Actions panel. And just like that, we've created our first custom action. You can also go back and edit an existing action. Let's say I accidentally moved a square and it was being recorded in that action. You can remove it by selecting it and hitting Delete Selection. We can also add another step by clicking Begin Recording. I'll group the selection together and hit Stop Recording. The Align window and others like the Pathfinder are tools I use very often. So to have a function key set for this as opposed to having to navigate back and forth makes it all the more easier. Now that you know the basics, let's take a look at some of the other ways that you can try this for yourself. On this artboard, I've got my base design that includes text with a custom envelope distort, which we covered in a previous episode. A scanned sketch of our hero character, and our soon-to-be health bar at the bottom. Let's put that align function to use. I'll create a few random white lines here. Next, I'll select all these white lines and navigate to my Actions panel. From the Actions window, I'll want to use the Center Horizontal Distribution action we had just made. And as you can see, it's perfectly distributed it evenly. Now under my own custom actions folder, you can see I already have some presets I've made here. In this case though, I'll want to use Expand and Delete, which will expand the strokes so that they are full shapes. Then it'll use the Pathfinder tool to delete all the overlapping lines with our bottom shape, and it will make it a compound path. Additionally, I can condense a simple image trace to a function key. So now, let's run through the steps on how to make this image trace action for yourself. First, select your image and hit Image Trace. Next, you'll want to hit Expand Image Trace. Actions cannot save the settings you have for your image trace. After the image trace is selected, you're going to want to hit Deselect All. Next, to delete all the white that the image trace has produced, I set my primary color on Illustrator to all white with the hex code of all Fs. Then I'll select Select, navigate to Same, and Fill and Stroke, which will select all the same color that has the same hex code. And all that's left is to hit Delete to get rid of the white portions we do not need. To convert our envelope distorts to vector paths, I'm going to navigate to my Expand and Add action. By selecting the drop-down arrow, you can see the actions it is performing. I'm selecting Expand and following all this criteria you see here. I'm using the Pathfinder to add all these shapes together, and then I end this action with a Make Compound Path, so that it can share the same fill and stroke information. It's important to note that the effects and other appearances do not use the Actions window, but instead utilizes the Graphic Styles window. For this text, I'll want to make it look even more pixelated. So first, I'm going to start by giving it a gray to black gradient. Next, using this gradient, I'm going to give it a rasterize effect. From color model, select bitmap. For resolution, other, and 6 ppi. We can then save this bitmap effect by adding it to the Graphic Styles window. Now, once you click this Save to Graphic Style, it will apply this effect to your selection. I'll use this on other design elements and icons I bring into this design. And there we have it. A single color video game inspired design made with our Actions and Graphic Styles presets, which you can now take and apply to more designs in this style. Thank you all for watching. If you learned anything new, be sure to leave this video a like and follow Adobe Live on all social platforms for more creative content. Although my time hosting Adobe Live has come to an end, you can find me on Instagram at Tjokro, my name, and more of my work on my portfolio site, MatthewTjokro.com. Reach out and let me know what's helpful. Anyways, everybody take care, and for one more time, thank you.